Hello, and welcome to the Metro MLS webinar on how to create and customize a dashboard in FlexMLS. In this webinar, we'll review briefly what a dashboard is and then how to create and customize one. So let's begin. So when you log in to FlexMLS, I'm just going to switch gears here a little bit. So when you're on our homepage, www.metromls.com, and you log in using the FlexMLS member login button, once you log in, and you're into Flex, the screen that you see here is called your dashboard, where you've got these little squares. These little squares are called gadgets. Okay, so the dashboard that is your default that you've got set coming in here, you can create your own dashboard based on whatever it is that you'd like to see, and you can make that as your default. So the dashboard that I'm sitting on here is called Home. If I click this little button, it'll show me my available dashboards that I have to use. So the MLS and Home dashboards come standard with everybody's account. The classic dashboard are for users who have been a member from 2008 and before. And then these two dashboards that you see right here, these are my own custom dashboards that I created. So just to click on one to show you, I'm going to click on the Stats dashboard. So this is a dashboard that I created with just a few statistical gadgets that you see here. Okay, so I've got a hot sheet gadget that I've configured for Milwaukee County single family properties. You can configure it for any county that you wish, for any or all property types that you wish. And so this is a 24-hour hot sheet. So based on the time that it was yesterday at this time, coming to this time now, that's the 24-hour period, and that's what you'll see for the entries here. Another gadget that you see here is the sale to original list price ratio gadget that I've configured for a map area, area that I drew over the map over the Brewers Hill area. You can configure these gadgets, the statistical gadgets, the ones that you see the graphs here. You can configure them for a county, a municipality, a zip code, or a map overlay area that you've previously drawn. If you're not familiar with what a map overlay is, you can come to our home page and under member support here, go to the FlexMLS webinars, and there is, I believe, a map overlay here. Oh, I went to the wrong spot, sorry. Member support, go to the video library. You can find that in here using map overlays, or you can visit our FlexMLS manuals if you're more of a paper kind of person, and then look for the map overlays guide that's here. Alright, coming back here. So here, just to configure a gadget, so let's say I'll switch this gadget from the Brewers Hill area to a zip code. Every gadget has this little settings buttons, like 3 dots. That's a button. That's the settings for that gadget. So I'll click that and go into settings. I'm going to remove Brewers Hill just by clicking the little X that's next to it. And I'm just going to put in a zip code. And once I have it over here in the box, I'll double click it to select it. So now you see it over here. I'll close this little search box and save it. You can only do one location at a time. So if you wanted to do this gadget but for several locations, you can add multiples of the same gadget. Alright, so there's a volume gadget I did for Milwaukee, inventory for Bayview, I did a prices for Wauwatosa, an absorption rate for the River West area, an inventory for Glendale, and a sold days on market for Brown Deer. So to create a dashboard from this screen that you see here, you've got a customize button. You click on that customize button. That first section applies to the dashboard that you're currently on, that you see over here. The second section labeled dashboards, this is where you can create a dashboard. So I'm going to do that by clicking on add. Once I click on add, it's going to take me to the recommended dashboard screen. So there's some templates that are already here that have preset gadgets in it. So there's a classics home dashboard, a regular home, an RSS feeds dashboard, market stats, contacts. So as you can see, it gives you a brief explanation and then shows you the gadgets that are included in that dashboard. Now, if you'd like to create a dashboard from the ground up choosing your own gadgets, you'll use blank here. So here it's create an empty dashboard and select your own gadgets. So give your dashboard a name. I'm just going to call it my dashboard. But you can call yours whatever you want, whatever you name it here. If you decide to change the name down the line, you can, because there is a rename option. And then we'll click on Create Dashboard. So once you create that dashboard, now it takes you to the Add Gadgets to whatever you've named your dashboard here. If you decided that you wanted to add gadgets to another dashboard, that's what that drop-down menu is for. So here, all of the gadgets are sorted out by type, but I like to click on all to see what all gadgets are available to me. Now as I'm going through this screen, you'll see some gadgets that won't be in your account because my permissions are different. Okay, so scrolling down the list here, maybe I'd like to add an absorption rate gadget. Maybe I'd like to add a listing collections gadget that will display my listing collections. Maybe a messages gadget, message board gadget, I'll add that. So you can add as many as you like. And RSS feeds, I'll show you what that is, some save search gadget, and I'll just leave it at that. So once you've added the gadgets that you'd like to add, and keep in mind you can always come back and add and remove gadgets. I'm going to click Return to Dashboard. So now it brings me out to that dashboard that I created, my dashboard, and these are all the gadgets that I've added. Now I can move them around in any order. So let's say this message board gadget I wanted at the top. You see when I hover my mouse over kind of the title bar there, it turns into the 4-pointer. I'm holding down my left mouse button and I'm just going to let it go over here where I can drag it and drop it. So now it's over here. Maybe I want to swap it out with this one here so I can swap places with it. Oops. There you go. Alright, so I'm just moving stuff around here the way that I might want to see it. And remember, you're not always, things aren't set in stone. You don't have to have it a certain way once you set it that way. You can always change it. Okay, so this message board gadget is where we typically will put messages out here on occasion. The messages gadget points to the My Messages section. So this gadget is a window to this section of your menu. Go to Menu, underneath Schedule Message, My Messages. So these are messages from agents and your contacts. Anybody that's using that messages function, using the contact or the send a message in their portal, they come here. Messages go to two places. They go to your email address of record. So if you don't log into Flex every day, you don't miss them if you go into your email, and then they come here. Anything that's not red is the bolded font, so you can just click it to open it up and read it. Okay, you can reply to it if there's a reply message from here. You can delete it by clicking remove. Just going back here, and I'm just going to switch to my messages. Whoops, my dashboard. Alright, so that's the messages gadget. If you wanted to configure the settings for that gadget, you just click on the button here. You can create a new message from here. You can send it to an agent, or I'm sorry, you can send it to a customer, and this customer would have to be a portal customer. So I've got a customer, I believe is called Homer Buyer. If anyone does not come up that you type in, that means they're not on an active portal. But I know my Barclays is on a portal, and there they are. So I can select that person, hit subject, type in a message, and when I send it, again, it goes to their email address of record or within the messages section of their portal. I'm just going to cancel out of that. And you can read a message from here just the way that I did from the My Messages screen by clicking on it. Send a follow-up message, remove the message. Alright, my next gadget, I did an absorption rate. Again, remember the settings button for that gadget is this little 3-dot button here. You just click on it, go into the settings. Maybe I want to get the absorption rate for the zip code 53207 for 2-family properties. Oops, forgot to select it, sorry. So once you type that location in there, you got to select it from the box. Alright, now close the box. I'll save it. So now I'm looking at the absorption rate for 2-family properties in this zip code starting from March 17th all the way to February 18th. So it'll be the 12 complete months down here. Next is the Save Search Gadget. The Save Search Gadget is a window into your saved searches. So when I click on Menu and Save Search, that's where it's pointing to. Okay, just going back out there. Switch to my dashboard. Okay, and then you can click on any of these to open up the results of those saved searches. You can filter to find a particular search. You can change the settings by going here. Listing carts, if you have any saved listing collections, they will apply here. Now what a listing collection is, and I'll do one real quick just to show you. Let's say you're searching for properties, maybe for a CMA. You're out on the search results screen and you're picking things that you like, and you look up and realize, oh, I've got an appointment, I'm going to be late if I don't stop. You don't want to lose the work that you've done, so you want to save the listings that you selected. Once you select the listings, you go save, save selected as, give that collection a name, and you hit save. Okay, so one place where you can access that is under menu and listing collection. There it goes. My system's a little slow. There's those 4 listings, and I can view the contents of that collection. Or like that gadget that I added to my dashboard that I created. There it is right here. I can click on it, see how many's there, and view them. Now your collections will retain any updates. So if a listing has been price changed, status changed, whatever, it will reflect it in your collection. All right, just going back here to dashboard here. Next is the RSS Feeds Reader here. So here, what RSS Feed stands for is really simple syndication. So what you can do is you can pull in an RSS feed link from any site, real estate related or not, and you can set it up right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the National Association of Realtors site, and I am going to look for a RSS feed to pull in. Sometimes they're easy to find, sometimes they're not. Don't expect any page to be laid out the same. Sometimes when you go all the way to the bottom, you might see for whatever it is. This takes a really long time sometimes. So what I typically do is I find a search field and I go RSS and just hit enter, so it'll bring up their RSS directory. So here it is, their RSS feeds. So I'll click there and see what they have available. So let's say I'd like to, this one, styled, staged, sold. So this will pull in the Realtor Magazine's Home and Design trim block. So I'm going to click that. That's going to actually open up the RSS feed site. So typically when it says feeds or feed burner or something implying to feeds in the URL here at the top, that's the link that you want. So I'm going to right click it and copy it once it's highlighted. Then I'm going to come back over here to Flex, click right here to set the feed up, paste it there, then give it a name, staged, styled, sold blog. Alright, maximum number of entries or articles to pull in, 25 is the default, you can change that. Number of days to keep those articles, default is 90. Typically, 30 in this day and age can be, kind of long, but it's totally up to you how many days that you want to keep that in. So I'll just put in 30 as an example, and then I'll click save, and then there's the articles from that blog. So if I wanted to read anything, I can just click on it, and it'll open it up, that article, into a new tab for me to read without having to navigate away from Flex. Okay? Alrighty. Moving back here to my dashboard. So we created a dashboard here. If you'd like to make any customizations to it, you can add more gadgets to it by, there it is right there, my dashboard, adding gadgets. You can change the layout. This is the layout that we've got selected, but you can choose any other layout for your gadgets. I'm just going to cancel that. You can give it a different name. So whatever you named it here, if you want to change the name, you can. If you like to add it to your recommended dashboard where you could possibly share it with another office member, you can. Make it your default, meaning that whenever you log into FlexMLS, this will be your default dashboard. And then if you'd like to remove the dashboard, it's asking you, are you sure? You click OK, and the dashboard has been removed. This will conclude our webinar on the FlexMLS dashboard, creating and customizing.